You better believe it, pal. It's another episode of the Chef Fit podcast. Peter's only frozen in time there, but sure, look, we'll saunter on through. Today's episode of the Chef Fit podcast is Stop Making Excuses, Chef. A hot topic for a lot of chefs. Regardless of that, Peter, how are you getting on, pal?
What's the story, guys? Did you know that every good informational podcast needs a good idiot? Let's roll.
Peter does this now. He does this thing now where he just rolls his neck. I can't even do it because my neck's fucked. He does that. That's his gangster lean. He just fucking wanders around. Just the odd time.
You know what it is? It's not even a gangster lean. It was after being in the saddle for ages, and after being down like this for a long time. So yesterday and today, I just keep finding myself going like this, getting my neck back in lines.
Fucking mentaler. Right. So now that we've got the mental intro, which tends to happen every single time we have a podcast, to be honest. We've had fucking
better.
We've had gangster leans, we've had crabs and bottles. Fucking what's the next?
Like those crabs.
Yeah, it's crabs, actual crabs on the screen. So what we're going to talk about is excuses. You know, excuses. This is such a massive thing for chefs. This is, out of every single topic I've ever done a video on, the ones that get the biggest reaction, the ones that get the most fucking engagement are ones about excuses. Because chefs live in constant frustration with their own excuses. Constant frustration with their own excuses. That's a really, really, really big thing. You see, your life is not the way you want it to be at times. For a lot of us, this is the case as well. For a lot of people, I've personal trained fucking chefs, and I've personal trained, a lot of just random fucking people from every walk of life. Everyone has excuses. What you got to understand first and foremost is you can have results or you can have reasons. And your reasons are your excuses. And the results speak for themselves. So let's start off with this. In your life right now, you have basically a lifestyle that's very different to a lot of people. You have a lifestyle that's very different to a lot of people. You work nights, they work days. They work weeks, you work weekends. Do you know what I mean? Or you work both. You're working on their holidays. You're finishing after everyone's fucking at home in bed. You'd never have your evenings off. It's very stressful. The hours are longer, etc., etc. You know what your life is like, chef. Okay, but yeah, exactly. So what you got to realize is when you're in that position, you'll want to make a change, and you will. You'll attempt to make a change. Peter's attempted to make a change. I've attempted to make changes in my life. What happens is, because your lifestyle can be so unstructured, let's say, fractal, because your work schedule is so hectic and requires so much of you, that it's very easily justifiable for you to make that excuse. It's very easy for you to go, I'm tired. I just don't feel like doing it today. And you'll come up with some reason to why you can't do something, and you won't do the thing that you're supposed to do. And as a result of doing the thing that not doing the thing that you're supposed to do, you get very frustrated with yourself, and you live in this constant cycle of just attempt it, feel like shit, attempt to do something about it, end up stopping for some reason, make an excuse for why you stopped, get pissed off at yourself, and then just repeat the cycle over and over and over again. And the key thing to understand here, chef, is that you need
There's one very important common step that you're missing in that.
What?
In that cycle of excuses and reasons. The one that always comes before it goes back to progress, excuse, reasons. The one that you're missing out there is blame.
Yeah.
Excuses and blame. That's what the whole fucking industry is about.
Yeah.
And then chefs, you see it. I seen it at the start of Chef Fit, and then you see it with newer chefs, and not just in Chef Fit. You see it a lot with chefs in general. That the excuses and the blame game gets carried on to how they actually talk.
Yeah, 100%.
General, how they carry themselves outside And it's so frustrating when you're in work and something goes wrong, that it's straight away it's about blame. So this mentality gets into chefs' heads, because when we're working away in the kitchen in this high pressure, high stress environment, that something goes wrong and everybody's already frustrated. So they're not going to say, yeah, sorry about that, or no, that happened there. You know what I mean? They go, yeah, well, it's not my fucking fault. Do you know what I mean? It's not my fault. Sure, that's broken over there. What do you expect me to do? I can't deal with this if you don't give me that. So it's your fault that we can't get this done.
100%.
Blame and excuses go hand in hand.
And in the kitchen, you're conditioned to that. You're conditioned to try and, like, some guys will fucking try and shy away from making a mistake. You know, my brother had this in the kitchen. he had a commie working for him as a college student, and it was like, it got so fucking extreme. He told me this hilarious story about your man had mixed up the oils. He'd mixed up extra virgin olive oil and rapeseed oil, and it's like different color. You know what I mean? So obviously extra virgin olive oil would be very, very fucking dark, color to it, and the rapeseed oil will have a slightly yellower color. So your man uses a liter of rapeseed oil, pops it into the pot that he was supposed to be cooking with olive oil, and it's like, brother looks in the pot, it's like, you're cooking with rapeseed. I told you to cook that with olive oil. It's like, it's not. That's rapeseed oil. It's like, no, or sorry, yeah, you kept mixing it up, and it's like, and that's rapeseed oil. So not olive oil. Ah, bro, that's 110% rapeseed oil. Like I could taste it. It's like, no, wouldn't lie to you, chef. Wouldn't lie to you. I was going, what the fuck? So he brings over the sous chef, as I gets the sous chef to taste it. Then I was like, taste that, without even telling him what was going on. Taste that. What is that? It's rapeseed oil. Right. It's rapeseed oil. Listen, chef, I told you I wouldn't lie to you when I met you, which I thought was weird anyway. I told you I wouldn't lie to you. And he never, and even when my brother walked away, the sous chef then went to him and went, just, you could tell me, like, nothing's going to happen here. It was rapeseed oil. Like, no, it wasn't rapeseed oil. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's just to give you an idea of potential. Now, I thought that was absolutely mental, to be honest. It is fairly mental for someone to...
It doesn't sound mental to me. It's like, yeah, I know that situation.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's the kind of environment. So when you're in that environment, it gets very easy to blame. And I get this all the time from chefs. Chefs will give me shit on Facebook, like on ads and stuff like that for Chef Fit. It's like, oh, fucking, how are you supposed to fucking do any of this with a fucking 70, 80-hour week, you fucking prick, and your fucking mustache? They're actually angry at me for saying that potentially you could improve your life by actually getting your shit together. But anyway, it's this whole thing, getting back to what Peter's saying, of, it's like, you have do the work when you feel like shit, and then after a week or two you stop, then you make the excuse, and then you blame, or you come to a conclusion. And it's like, the conclusion is either if it's yourself who should be taking the blame, right? If it's you who's the problem, chances are you're going to go, oh, well, it's fucking work's too busy and I can't fucking afford it. And my kids I've got like 3 kids and I'm fucking, you know what I mean? Just keep going. Just keep looping them off. Oh, I got 2 kids, I got 3 kids. I fucking, on my days off, then I have to take them out. I have to take them to school in the morning. Like, I'm fucking tired. I'm doing a 12-hour day. Constantly looking to pass the buck onto something else, which is a massive problem. Constantly looking to pass the buck onto something else. And the thing is, the reason why I have a problem with excuses, and the reason why I don't really accept them in my own life, and if I do make a mistake, I'll fully admit, and if I make a choice to do something stupid, I will admit that choice. But the key thing that you need to understand here is that excuses are toxic. They don't lead to anything. They lead to nothing. The road to nowhere is fucking paved with excuses, pal. They get you nowhere. You understand me? So with a chef, yeah, sure, it's justified. Sure, you're built, you're not built, but you're conditioned to blame other shit for why it's not going well. You know what I mean? Or something happens in the kitchen, point the finger. Sure, you're conditioned to do that, and it's very easy to do that in your own life, but you don't have the conviction to go, no, I'm not actually going to accept that for myself. I'm going to fucking do it anyway. Like, you don't have the conviction to do that. But if you keep doing that, where's it going to get you? I'll tell you where it goes. It goes into either an extremely dark place mentally, okay? Mental health epidemic with chess right now. Guys going into the fucking darkness, depression, anxiety, absolutely gigantic. Or if it's not depression and anxiety, then it's literally just mental burnout. You just
substance abuse.
Substance abuse. You find some way of dealing with it. That's because you made an excuse ages ago, years ago, to not deal with your problems. You made an excuse years ago to not fix your fucking self, to not fix your health, and not do the things you were supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you're going to be serious here, it's like you need to be able to overcome those excuses. So you need to break that down. I'd ask you, Peter, though, before we do, before you give us another gangster lane, what do you think? Like, what were your excuses before?
My excuse before was the classic, I don't have time. But what keeps ringing in my head here is, there's a saying that we have in the kitchen that I'm working in now, right? Because we have a lot of agency staff coming and going. Now, I worked in that kitchen through the agency for 7 months myself, so I'm not shitting on agency staff, but we have people coming in and they have the excuses, and it turns into reasons. And when you have the excuses in your head, the excuses actually lead into reasons that you think are valid, and then you use them for blame, right? And when you were talking earlier on about passing the book, well, where I'm working now, we have a saying that really rings true. The more I think about it, first I thought about it in the frame of Chef Fit, is when people are doing that, passing the book and giving the reasons, and like it comes in, this guy, he broke the fridge on us, and we were like, wait, the fridge is broke, wait, we better get that fixed. He was like, no, I didn't break that fridge. I was like, I'm not saying you broke the fridge. You put that there was loads of water in it. The water went over, the fuse fucking blew up, sounded like a shotgun, I nearly shit myself, and the fridge is broke. But I'm saying the fridge is broke now, so we're going to get it fixed. Well, I hear, that fridge was broken there 2 days ago. And the head chef came over from behind me and goes, come here, listen, Tom, stop pushing shit uphill. That's all you're doing here. You're just pushing shit uphill. As soon as you have the problem, you take responsibility, don't make any excuses, and then the blame game doesn't come in. So stop pushing shit uphill.
100%. That's such a fucking good analogy, man. Isn't it? Stop pushing shit up.
Really is, yeah.
Mad. So, like, with that in mind, it's this whole idea that you can have reasons or you can have results. So it's like, if you want to be a fucking pussy and you want to pass the book on to someone else because you don't have the fucking testicular fortitude to admit responsibility in a situation, then you're always going to fail. You're always going to fail unless you start overcoming the excuse. So let's break down what an excuse actually is. An excuse is a story, a fabrication that is generated or created by something called your limbic system. It's a reptilian part of your brain that's very, very deep-seated. It's very, very old, right? It's the oldest part of our brain. It's like our outer layers are what makes us extremely smart humans. Do you know what I mean? Where we can fucking, create shit like phones and, build fucking buildings and write books and have interesting conversations. That's all the outer layers of our brain. But the inner layers is your limbic system. And that's the reptilian fucking brain. That's the thing that, Neanderthals fucking had. And, that's terrible anthropology by me. That's the thing that fucking literally lizards had and our common ancestors, let's say, making a hames of that explanation. But it's a very, very old part of your brain that's responsible for your emotions. Simply put, your fear, your sex drive, your comfort levels. These are all emotional states that you find yourself in. And your limbic system, this part of your brain, it wants you to be comfortable. It wants you to maintain equilibrium. Equilibrium means balance. If you're in equilibrium, you're alive. If you disrupt that equilibrium, it's like you're under pressure, you're under stress. So your body, that part of your brain does not like you being under stress. And that will, because it doesn't want you to be under stress, it will come up with some bullshit to justify not doing the thing you're supposed to do. So let's say it's like fucking, you're supposed to go for a 3 or a 4K run outside. You have your shoes and your shorts on, but you open the window and it's fucking raining outside, and then you're tired. And it's like, you just could, there's no reason, that's not logically going to stop you from doing the run. You're going to be a bit wet. That's it. You might have to stick the jacket up on the door frame to dry out. That's it. But in your mind, that's a reason to stop. Why? Because the chances are you didn't want to fucking do it in the first place. So now you're just finding an excuse. Your brain gives you the excuse. If it's because you're tired, it's like, cool. But now you're tired and you're in this like fucking, oh, I need to recover kind of state of mind. Your brain is telling you to go, okay, cool, stay in bed, hit the snooze button for 3 hours. But in fact, that's a lie. Like, I find this every single time. For me, like, I like my sleep, but I also know that I wake up at 6, half 6 in the morning. Like, literally, I don't want to wake up necessarily. Like, I'm excited about my day and I love what I do, but I don't particularly want to get up in that moment because I'm fucking tired and it's like, I'd rather stay in bed right now. But once my feet hit the floor and once I'm fucking moving, you know what I mean? I'm fine. I'm ready to go. I can go about my day. But again, your brain will lie to you and say that you need to be in bed. You should stay in bed. Don't do it. It's not good out there, which is absolute fucking bollocks. But once you understand that that excuse is your limbic system, it's your lizard brain, then things start to get clearer. And if anyone's ever looking for a book that will change your fucking life, that's a piece of piss to read. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield is a book that I read that completely blew the bollocks off me. The reason that it blew the bollocks off me is because we all have that voice in our head. We all have that thing in us that tells us not to do shit. You know what I mean? We all have it. And that voice, Pressfield writes down that that voice is actually somebody. It's resistance. It's something that is you have to fight with on a daily basis. That's what resistance is. And for a chef, your life is unique in the fact that you have more resistance to deal with because your life is technically, it's probably harder. You're dealing with more hours, more stress, more pressure. So you're dealing with more resistance. So that means it's harder to get shit implemented into your life, but it's not impossible. And once you start realizing that resistance is a lie, resistance is the thing that does not want you to succeed, resistance is the thing that ultimately does not want the best for you, then it becomes easier to make the call and go, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway, which a lot of chefs do not do. They won't step up and just go, nah, no chance. Not this time, Tonto. I'm fucking going to do it anyway. That's like, chances are it's like, no, I can't. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next year. I'll do it in January. I'll do it Monday. I'll do it someday. You know, and that never fucking comes around. That never comes to fruition. It never happens. Why? Because you were lied to by resistance. So it's like, once you realize what that is, that that's not the truth, then you need to start fucking understanding what the truth is. And the truth is this, son, that the thing that you're looking to find is going to be found in the place that you least want to fucking look. You understand? The thing that you're looking to find is going to be found in the place that you least want to fucking look. The work sets you free. It sets you the fuck free. So if you want to carry on living a life of quiet desperation, then keep making excuses. But if you don't, and you want to live a life worth fucking living, and you want to be fulfilled, then you, my friend, are going to have to get uncomfortable. You are going to have to wake up when you don't want to wake up. You are going to have to fucking make time for the things that count. You're going to have to do something on your day off. You're going to have to cut out the fucking bullshit that you need to drink every single night or you need to spliff every single night. You're going to have to cut that and knock it on the head. And you're going to have to overcome that barrier, overcome the story that you tell yourself. And if you can overcome the stories, then the fucking world's your oyster. But if you keep living in the stories, you keep living with your fucking capitulation and your bullshit, you're always going to get what you always got. You're always going to get what you've always gotten, which is fuck.
Nobody has ever gotten in from a run and went, ugh.
100%.
I wish I didn't do it. I wish I just stayed on the couch and fast for another hour.
Yeah, 110%. So fucking true. You never regret it. You never regret it. I've been there. I've been there. I've listened to the voice several times. The reason that I can
Never.
speak so honestly about this, and the reason that I can fucking tell someone the truth about this, is because I've gone through it myself. You know, there's a lot of fucking wankers out there in fitness, especially, who everyone's trying to sell the quick fix because it's the easy fix. Do you understand? They're trying to sell the quick fix. They're trying to sell well, you can fucking lose loads of weight without restrictive diets, and you can get loads of strength or build loads of muscle without going to the gym more than fucking 2 or 3 days. It's always the quick fix. You know what I mean? It's always the quick fix. Nearly lost Peter there, but it's always the quick fix. Do you know what I mean? And this is the biggest problem that we have, that we actually believe that quick fixes are the way. And they're not. They never fucking are, man. They never are. They really aren't. So for me, I know the truth. I know I've made a lot of excuses in my life, you know, and I've had to fight them and overcome them. And I still battle them. I still battle those stories all the time. And the reason I do that is because it makes my life better if I actually overcome and I achieve. And for chefs, it's the same idea. It really is. It's the same idea. You need to be able to overcome your stories. In overcoming your stories, then you get to where you want to go. But if you keep living in the bullshit, you're always going to get what you got. What you got there, Peter?
Well, it used to be one voice against my voice, and it would be me saying, right, come on, let's get up and go and do it. And then the other voice was saying, no, how about you stay in bed, grow up, smoke a joint, and play Modern Warfare 2 all day? The difference is now there's me, and then there's that one voice saying, hey, why don't you just chill out and not go and do the thing today? Or there's me, and then 63 other chefs.
Yeah, 100%. There you go.
Big time.
There you go. That's another good thing. Like, you know what I mean? That's another valid point. It's like, how do you overcome the excuse? Once you understand what it is, you know what I mean? Once you understand what it is, then it's like, cool. What do you need to put in place to fucking get it sorted, pal? And it's your environment. If you're in an environment where excuses are encouraged, like you work in a kitchen where if someone makes a mistake, they try and blame someone else for why the mistake was made, chances are you're going to be an excuse maker. But if you're in a culture where, and this is what I tried to build in ChefFit, where you don't make excuses, you take ownership and you find the fucking solution to your problem and you figure it the fuck out. And then you do it. In doing that, you make massive, massive changes. And that's what you're saying there. It's like now you're being surrounded by fucking 50, 60 chefs and you're making it happen every single time, you know, because it's not, when you make an excuse to yourself, no one says anything. But when you make an excuse to people who are
also when they don't into the excuses, they haven't other things that are going on in their life. Totally.
And it's like you won't make the excuse to them. You won't make the excuse to them. That's really, really vital here. So yeah, that's our episode on making excuses, chef. Their lies, their stories, and the second you overcome those stories, the second you're going to win at life. And the best thing you can do is surround yourself with people who are on the same journey as you, who are not accepting excuses from themselves, and therefore they won't accept excuses from you. So with that in mind, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, chaps. Like us on YouTube as well. Give us a thumbs up. And if you're listening on Podbean, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you give us a 5-star review. With that in mind.
And a share. Get them shares going, lads.
Get the link there, lad, and then give it a share on your various platforms, please. Right? Stay safe, you fucking fruits.